स्वामिन् नमस्ते नतलोकबन्धो कारुण्यसिन्धो पतितं भवाब्धौ मामुद्धरात्मीयकटाक्षदृष्ट्या ऋज्व्यातिकारुण्य सुधाभिवृष्ट्या स्वामिन्नमस्ते 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 नित्याय सत्याय चिदात्मकाय नव्याय भव्याय परात्पराय शुद्धाय बुद्धाय निरञ्जनाय नमोऽस्तु नित्यं गुरुशेखराय नमोऽस्तु नित्यं गुरुशेखराय. जय गुरु, जय गुरु, जय गुरु. So we'll start with the shloka that we have done yesterday, which says that three things are very rare which comes together in life by the grace of God, and that is Manushyatvam, that is human birth, Mumukshutvam, yearning for liberation, and the third is Mahapurusha Samshrayah, is the close association of a Mahapurusha, a saint, and remaining under his loving care and guidance. And I said that all of us, for all of us, all the three have come together, and we should feel very blessed about it. And blessedness should be constantly enveloping us, and throughout the day we should feel blessed and be very grateful to God that this has happened to us. Then we were chanting the fourth shloka, which says, we'll chant together. Will you be able to chant? Labdhva kathanchin narajanma durlabham tatrapi pumstvam shruti paradarshanam yasvatma muktau nayateta mudhadhihi sahyatmaha svam vinihantya sadgrahat. This shloka says, it gives us suddenly a jerk. What is this? It says, having had the rare human birth. I'm not going through the meanings anymore because we have to take more shlokas. Yesterday we did the meanings. So it says, having had the rare fortune of being a human or getting a human birth, and then also having the opportunities to know about the Shastras, to read about it, to contemplate about it. If a person, having had all the opportunities, does not make any effort to know who one is, that is, who am I? Myself. What is my real identity? Am I the body? Am I the mind? Am I the intelligence? Who am I actually? If somebody, having had every opportunity, does not make any effort to know his self, that person is a Tell me, foolish. He is a foolish person. He is a dull-witted person. Why? And he is making himself killed, getting himself killed, or he is committing suicide. See, it is written, Yastyatma muktau na yateta mudhadhihi sa hyatmaha. Hyatmaha means he is a person who is killing himself. He is committing suicide. And why he is committing suicide? Because vinihanti asadgrahat. What he does is, he is holding on to whatever is unreal. He feels, I am this body, I am the mind, I am the intelligence. And whatever happens to the body, mind or intelligence, he gets affected. You know, in this world, there are 3 kinds of misery. It is called tapatraya. One is because of adidaivika, it is called, because of nature. Nature's fury. Earthquake may be there, tsunami may be there, then flood may be there, drought may be there. We have nothing to do with that. We cannot turn the nature's course. That is called adidaivika. Adibhautika is, which is caused by other creatures or human beings, like snake bite, dog bite, accidents, murder. That is through other creatures. In one's life, one may escape both of these. But the third one, the third dukkha, the third misery, nobody can escape. What is that? That is adhyatmika dukkha, which is through his own mind. We know that the mind is jealous, mind is hateful, mind is always depressed, mind always grumbles and criticizes, and because of that, one is suffering. We'll find the mind will pick up something to be unhappy. Even though we have many things, but still we'll feel that, oh, that particular thing I do not have, and mind will suffer. So this adhyatmika dukkha, everybody has to suffer from. We cannot escape from that. So, these 3 dukkhas that we have, to have liberation from that is mukti. Now, we think that we are the body, this limited body, my name is this, my structure is this, my mind is like this, I have this kind of thoughts. But all those are unreal. All those changes, all those are perishable. But we want to hold on to them. Whatever we have and around things around us, whatever we possess, all the wealth, property, name, fame, education, everything, we want to hold on to that. What are we holding on to? All unreal and perishable objects. So, if we hold on to such things which are perishable, we also perish. Like say, if there is a very big storm and you want to save yourself, you go and climb onto the branches of a tree, but the branches will be swing vigorously. Will you feel safe? No. But suppose we hold on to the trunk, then what will happen? We'll feel that we are still safe. So, whatever is real, Atma is real, eternal, imperishable, changeless. So, instead of holding on to Atma, instead of trying to find out what this Atma is and who I am really, we are trying to hold on to all other things in the world which themselves are perishable, and if we hold on to them, we also always feel that everything will get destroyed, including myself. Always there is a fear. So who is this I? Sometimes I say, I am sick. Sometimes we say, my body is not feeling very well today. So who is this I? Whom are we referring to? We have every day, we have a waking state where we understand, we talk, we walk about, we do work, we understand that this is me. And in the dream state, what happens? We have another thing which comes up. There is a dream body, dream thought, dream talk. And when we get up, we find that all that is unreal. There is a deep sleep state where When we get up, we say, oh, I slept like a log. I did not understand anything. So these three states we are constantly every day going through. So we do not know which is our real self. What am I? So in this sloka it says that one who does not try to understand one's own self, does not make any effort to know who this I is. The self, for self-realization, he does not make any effort. He is a dull-witted person and he is wasting time. In Bhagavatam it says, once you know this, you should not waste any time. Even if you are a child, once you have come to know that there is a state, realizing which you can go beyond likes and dislikes, you can go beyond happiness and misery, and you can be ever blissful, ever happy, ever joyful, ever fearless. You must not waste any more time and you should immediately make effort to pursue that path. Otherwise, you are a dull-witted person if you do not do that. Alas, we have been constantly hearing, listening, reading, discussing, but with how much sincerity do we try to pursue this path? We like to hear, but we do not make any effort to do anything about it. Next sloka we will study. Vadantu shastrani yajantu devan kurvantu karmani bhajantu devataah atmaikya bodhena vinapi muktihi na siddhyati brahma shatantarepi. Let us see the meanings. Vadantu, that is, recite or speak on. Shastrani. Shastrani is scriptures or holy books. Yajantu, perform sacrifices. Devan, for the gods. So, we may be reading the Shastras, like many of you read, many of you get together and discuss, or somebody may speak about it. Vadantu is actually speaking. So one may be giving lectures on Shastras, knows the Shastras very well, and he becomes a very good speaker. He is talking and people are coming and liking his lecture. Or Yajantu Devan. One may be doing lot of yajnas, doing homam and all that very regularly, religiously, with lot of devotion. Kurvantu is do. Karmani, that is many holy acts one does. Bhajantu Devan. Bhajantu is worship, Devan. Or you go to temples and worship God, various deities. That is, you are doing very holy and noble work. Either you are speaking on the Shastras, or you are doing lot of homam, or you are doing very lot of noble acts, charitable work, or you are worshipping God. This sloka is saying you may be doing everything, unless through all that you come to know what is your real self, you will not get liberation at all. So one may be a great professor of Shastras. There are such in the universities there will be departments where Advaita Vedanta is taught. A person may be PhD in that, speaking very well. But suppose he has not realized, it doesn't mean anything. You may be doing year after year, going to the temples, or in your house, lighting a lamp, chanting many stotras. That is what we think, we are great bhaktas. That every year, every day we get up in the morning, we light a lamp and we chant so many shlokas. Before finishing all my prayers, I do not take breakfast. People feel that that is something very great. It may be great, but you will not be liberated. See, Yajnavalkya and Maitreyi. Yajnavalkya was a rishi, remaining in the forest. He was a great scholar. So he had two wives. One Maitreyi, another is Katyayani. So at one time, after reading the Shastras, he was a scholar, mind you. But still he felt that I have not realized myself. So now I must exclusively and wholesomely be somewhere and contemplate on whatever I have read and realize myself. So what he did, he said that I want to become a sannyasi. He divided his property in equal halves to the two wives. He called them, both of them, and said, I'm going to divide the property, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go away from here. Katyayani was very happy because she was a worldly minded person. When she got so much of property and the husband will not be there to monitor her or supervise her, she became very happy. But Maitreyi said, my lord, tell me, if I get the wealth of the whole world, will I be immortal? Yajnavalkya said, no, my dear, you will not be immortal. You will be under the clutches of mortality. You will be in the clutch. Mortality means always remaining in the cycle of happiness and unhappiness. So, you will not be. Then she said, if I do not become Amrita by something, why should I want it? What will I do with this wealth and property that you are trying to give me if by that I do not become Amrita? I also want to pursue this path which you are pursuing. Why are you leaving? Because after all these studies, all this scholarship, all the life that you have led, you are still feeling that you want to know yourself by which you will be supremely blissful, supremely happy. So I too want to follow you and I do not want anything of this. And she followed. So this is what is. We must and we will not be liberated. Liberated means what? I think yesterday I explained that from your traits of the mind which make you suffer, you have to be liberated. And ultimately we find that it is a liberation when we understand what is our real identity. We are mistakenly identified with our body, mind and intelligence. We feel that this is the limited body that I am and my mind, etc. But that is a wrong identification. Because we identify with the mind, etc., whatever happens to the mind, when the mind is unhappy, we feel that I am unhappy. But actually the mind is unhappy. Who is noticing that? One is noticing. Who is noticing? Say suppose today I was unhappy or I am unhappy now. Who is noticing that? Maybe you will feel, oh, similarly, some days back I was feeling very unhappy. Now who is observing that? That yourself who was unhappy, say 7 days earlier. There is some observer. At that time you are not experiencing that unhappiness, but you are observing or you are witnessing that you were. Say in simple manner, where all of us, we can think of ourselves, our life. When I was 5-year-old, 10 years old, 15 years old, I did like this, I went with my mother or I went with my friends. Somebody is observing that impression in the mind. That observer is the I, in simple words. So, unless that Atma is known, will not have mukti at all. So, what should be done? Come to the next sloka. We are leaving some slokas. Ato vimuktyayi prayateta, ato vimuktyayi, ato vimuktyayi, प्रयतेत विद्वान् संन्यस्तबाह्यार्थ सुखस्पृहः सन् संतं महान्तं समुपेत्य देशिकम् तेनोपदिष्टार्थ समाहितात्मा अतो विमुक्त्यै प्रयतेत विद्वान् संन्यस्तबाह्यार्थ सुखस्पृहः सन् संतं महान्तं समुपेत्य देशिकम् तेनोपदिष्टार्थ समाहितात्मा अतः. Say अतः. अतः means therefore. विमुक्त्यै. विमुक्त्यै. Vimuktya is for liberation. Ato vimuktya for liberation. Prayateta. Prayateta means should strive. So what one should do? All this time what I was saying, that these slokas are saying that we must know ourselves. It is not enough that we read, we listen, we discuss. So even if you come for satsang, our center is there. Many of you are gathering here. You are having so many discussion sessions. One day there is a general satsang. Then 2 other days you are having discussion from a book. It is all good. Very good. Better than only having interest in worldly things. But the fact is that unless you go deeper, unless individually you try to know with all this discussion, am I proceeding? Am I proceeding to know who I am? Then all this is vain. Because anything happening, you will be fearful. You will be affected. So to go to that stage, one must know what I am. And for that, there is some process. At least one should think that every day I am coming even for satsangs. But am I proceeding? Even now I am gripped by fear. Even now I am gripped by lot of affliction. So what is the further step? What do I do further? So that I am always confident, I am always fearless. Even if a fear comes, I know how to get over it. So that thought, that yearning should come and grip one. I always feel that even in the satsangs, when we gather, whether the listening or discussing is more important, or after the discussion, chit-chatting becomes more important. You have to see that. See, this is practical disciplines. You have given me the topic. So the practical disciplines, if we start discussing, you will find that many of the things that we are doing good things, no doubt, but something better has to be done. We cannot stick in one stage. Even all of us, we have studied in school, and many of you are now putting your children to school. Will you like any of the children to be in one class? You have to go further. If one fails in one class, one doesn't like it. It is a shame, it is a humiliation. So just as in academic studies, we have to grow further, here also in the spiritual class, we have to grow further. It is simple logic. Simple thing. But the fact is that in devotion and spirituality, everybody thinks what I am doing is okay. So, complacency comes. Not to be complacent is one great characteristics of any seeker. This is what one must have. I should not be complacent. Suppose a student becomes complacent in class, he will not get good marks. Always the student should feel that I should do better, I should do better, I should do better. Then only he will get good marks, good rank, and will shine. Similarly here, there is no scope of complacency at all. No scope. We need not be competitive, but we must know that we are got stuck somewhere, and how to progress, that should actually give you pain. Why is it that I am still not progressing? So, ato vimuktiyai prayateta vidwan. Who is a vidwan? Who has, like all of us, we are reading, listening, a little bit of knowledge we have had. So, he must then, to become liberated, he must make effort. This word prayateta, it is yateta is effort, to make effort. Prayateta means wholesome effort. One should give wholesome effort to, say we want to cook. We have to go to the market, we have to bring the grocery and vegetables, we have to put our whole mind so that good food is prepared. Similarly, prayateta, wholesomely, focusedly we have to try for liberation. And how that can be done? The second sentence is saying that Sanyasta bhahyartha sukhas prihas san. Sanyastam is having renounced. Bhahyartha sukhas priha. What is that? How will you make effort for this? Only when you understand that this is something good. So, when we make effort for such things which we want to achieve. Here you have to achieve this. How will you make effort wholesomely? Whatever happiness we are getting from worldly objects, we have to understand that all those happiness is transitory, momentary. It will not stay. As the body grows, when the body is youthful, we feel that we can do everything. After some time, the body starts decaying. Then there will be pain here, pain there, this disease, that disease. After 50, most of the people will get diabetes and blood pressure. Then knee pain and back pain and all this will come. So then you become dependent on others. So the things which were giving us happiness, they don't remain. Even the comforts and luxury that you have, they will not remain. So sanyasta bhahyartha sukhas prihasan. We are always deluded that our happiness is from outside objects. I want a car, I get it, I am happy. I want to go to a particular place, or I want to get a promotion, I get it, I am happy. That means our happiness is depending on what? Objects, people, places. I want to meet this person, I like this person. If I only interact with such people, I am happy. If I have to interact with a person who is a difficult person, whom I don't like, it is unhappiness. So, always we understand that our sukha is from outside objects. What about the sukha? Is there any sukha? Then the question should be, is there any happiness which is not dependent on anything? Not dependent on anything at all. It is the self, the soul's happiness. There is a state. We can come later on in this book itself, it is given. There is a state where neither you get attracted by anything, nor you reject, nor you become afflicted by anything, nor is it that you become elated by anything. That is, you are always in moderation. Now what happens? What is our present state? If anything I like or I want, if I get it, we are very much elated. We forget ourselves. And when unhappiness comes, we are absolutely depressed. We do not know how to be equanimous, how to be even minded. Then we will absolutely become disturbed, afflicted, agitated. So, there is something, if you look into yourself, we are always looking outside for our happiness, outside objects. Suppose we look into ourselves and try to tap the fountain of joy which is there. It is there. It is our real identity. It is always there. Joy is flowing out like anything. Only because we do not look at it, we do not try to tap it, we are not having that joy. So, if we tap that happiness, looking inside us, trying to understand what I am, who I am, you know what happens? Nirantar ananda rasena triptaha. You will become always full of joy. Nirantara means unbrokenly you will have joy. And what kind of joy? As if it is a nectar, and by which you will become contented. Contentment is one quality of a seeker. This is contentment means you are happy with anything and everything. The mind is always not wanting something else, something else, something else. This is our condition now, that we are constantly wanting something else. How will I be having everything? Still the mind feels that mind is empty. Mind is having a vacuum. So, it says, Sanyasta Vahyartha Sukhasprihassan Santam Mahantam Samupetya Deshikam. That is, knowing that all this object, all the happiness that we get from the objective world, thinking that happiness will come from them, we have to give up that idea. And what we should do, we should try to go to somebody who will tell us how that happiness, which does not depend on anything, he can tell us. We have to go in search of such a person. Why should we go? We have understood that the happiness, all that happiness we have is only dependent on objects. It is perishable happiness. But then we can stop at that. But if we want to become liberated, here this book constantly tells us, you must have a goal in life. Do not ever forget that there is a higher goal in life. It is not only living, eating, sleeping, enjoying, and then dying. It is not like that. There is a higher goal in life. You are all very fortunate. That is what in the third shloka it says, shloka number 3, that it's a rare blessing that 3 things have come together. Who are the ones? The human beings who have a yearning. What is the yearning? They feel that we want to hear something good, something different from what everybody talks about, everybody sees, everybody enjoys. There is something which elevates my mind, takes me to a different world, makes me feel absolutely without any burden, without any anxiety, without any fear. So, all of us who take to this path, in whichever degree, we start feeling that. And that is the aim. What should be the aim? The aim should be to pursue this path, to reach a goal where we become absolutely free. Free of what? Free of anxiety, fear, and everything. Everything which constricts the mind. So, what is the topic that I am going to discuss? Practical disciplines for a spiritual seeker. I would say first discipline is always remembering the goal of life, the purpose of life, why we are born. In the Bhakti Shastras they say the highest duty of man is to grow devotion for the Supreme Lord. Grow devotion. We are not devotees. You know who are devotees? We feel we are devotees because we do a worship, we go to temples or we worship, we go for various pujas and all that. We do prayer. But that is not what God feels a bhakta should be. If you open Bhagavad Gita, you will find God has said, what are the qualities of a devotee? So those qualities we must have. Are we doing anything to have those qualities? We do not. The qualities, the one quality is that first quality which Krishna has told Arjuna is adveshta sarva bhutanam. That is, you should not be having dvesha, dislike or hatred for any creature in this world. We are not like that. Then santushta satatam, always be contented. They are the bhaktas. Krishna is saying in various sentences that if a bhakta has these qualities, then he is liked by me, he is dear to me. So we think that we are devotees. You know what a devotee should be? He should have a devotion is, unless it is ahaituki and apratihata bhakti. What is ahaituki? Unmotivated bhakti. That is, without any reason I am devoted, not asking anything from God. Just always compare with yourself. Are we like that? Are we not always asking for something? My daughter should be married, this disease should be cured, I should win in this case. Always we are asking and asking. And apratihata means if there is obstacle, your bhakti will not diminish. It will not reduce. So, the purpose of life we should not forget at all. The goal of life. What is the goal of life? The first thing that we must keep in mind. You know, we are all in human beings in the world. All of you are in the household. So, what you can do? I am saying, that say in Vivekachudamani, that saying, the goal of life should be remembered. What is the goal of life? To be constantly searching to know what my real identity is. That I am Atma, I am eternal, imperishable, I am changeless. I have to know that. So, how will you know? How will you remember that? Throughout your day, throughout your activity. See, whenever your mind is a little free, by habit, try to think of the goal. By habit. First we have to make a habit. Then it becomes natural. That is, again and again you think, oh, all these days I thought my happiness is from outside. If I get something, I am happy. Now I understand that there is an eternal joy and happiness. A center is there in ourselves which can give me eternal joy and happiness. I should look for it. I do not know how to look for it. You cry to God. Say that in spite of pursuing this path, I am not understanding this. I am not able to realize this. What further I should do? That kind of cry should be there in the mind. So, that person who understands that all these outside things is not going to give me any happiness, he starts looking for somebody who can give him guidance. So where he goes? Santam Mahantam Samupetya Deshikam. Deshikam means Guru. And what kind of Guru? Mahan. He is a noble, virtuous person. Samupetya. Samupetya means by going to him. And first you go to him, then what you do? Tenopadishtartha samahitatma. You ask him that this is my condition, I want to know this, so please tell me something. So whatever he says, then you contemplate on his words. This should be done. You know, it's very holy, very sublime. So sublime. Very recently, it so happened that my one classmate in school, so you can understand, I have left school 50 years back. nearly 50 years. So she got in touch with me and she keeps contact. Contact means she now feels that I am a holy person and asks me about all these things, uh, the path, how to attain it, and feels that it is something very holy and great. So she wrote to me that there is some school magazine coming, they are going to publish. So will you write an article? I was coming here. I thought that I have got lectures, then I have got workshop, then I have to meet people. So will I be able to? So I did not commit anything. But I started writing. Every day night I was writing. When I was writing, I many things were becoming more and more clear. And what I wrote is that in the school, all the teachers, they want us to be excellent. The teachers always want the students to be excellent. And in our school, on all round excellence was always emphasized upon. But however much I have studied under best of teachers in the school, college, university, they have never taught us how to handle the mind, how you can know yourself, knowing which you can face all challenges in life. Neither in the academic institutions nor at home, nobody has taught what is this path, how you can know. So that was the gist of what I have written anyway. So Tenopadishtartha samahitatma samupetya deshikam. You must go to a guru, or your cry should be such that you will be led to a guru. Somewhere you will find that you have come to know of a realized person and you have started going to him and you are listening to him and your mind is becoming quieter and quieter. Antashitalata. When you come to a Sadguru, what happens first is that all questions dissolve and the mind is filled with a coolness and quietude. So that is what one should do. Next one, let us see. Ato vichara kartavyo jajnasoratmavastunaha समासाद्य दया सिंधुम ब्रह्मविद गुरुं ब्रह्मविदुत्तमम्. So one should go to the Guru and then listening to him one must do vichara. All that I am doing throughout the day, activities, how much is really necessary for my livelihood, living, to look after the family, to look after the children, and minimum, more or less comfortable lifestyle, and how much I am expecting. Whatever I am expecting and more I am wanting, is it necessary? Am I not wasting my time thinking only of that, trying to possess, trying to acquire, and trying to, always the mind is that we should not lose anything, trying to hold on to everything, clinging to everything. So the vichara should be what is perishable and what is imperishable, what is real and what is not. Many of the things, we do only because of habit, because we are influenced by our friends and relatives. Suppose you want to come to satsanga or you come to some discussion, or maybe in your house you want to read some holy book or meditate. You are not able to tell your house people, or sometimes some guests will come, you are not able to tell them that this is the time that we have fixed for this pursuit, because we feel shy. What will they think? They will rebuke us, they will say something. But if you are able to do vichara properly and you are able to keep your aim in the mind fixed, then you will find that you are able to tell people that please come. You are certainly welcome, but please give me this time. You can come a little earlier or later. See, I have lived a household life, and at one time we did this. Used to tell people that this is the time, say 7 to 8, I want to meditate or read some books. So initially there was a little displeasure from everybody, but later on everybody understood what this is, and they started honoring it. When they would come, they would say, we'll not come at 7, we'll come either before or later. So it is our wish, how much we are interested, how much is our yearning, and that yearning should grow again and again. So the practical discipline, first thing I said, what did I say? Always remember the goal. And second is the yearning should be more and more. Always see, always try to analyze, try to compare that yesterday what I was, have I increased in my yearning or not? Or has it fallen down? Then all this, will be done if we have some disciplines. Now we are coming actually to the discipline. What is the discipline part? I think when people hear about discipline, people become very afraid that, what all we have to do. But you tell me, when we are students, are we not going through disciplines? We have to. Suppose our school is at 7:30, we have to definitely get up early in the morning and get ready and reach the school by 7:30. However much you feel lazy or do not want to get up, or you have some other interest, you still have to go. And the discipline is that you must be studious in the school, you must do your homework, you must study well and sit for exams. Nobody can escape these things. So similarly, if any interest you have, and I think you have, if you don't have interest, then I lose interest to talk to you. No, I do not lose interest. This is our job, this is our life. People are not interested, but we'll keep on harping. People will not be disciplined. Discipline is spiritually disciplined. Still we will say the same thing over and over and over again. If 1% takes to this discipline, we are happy. So the discipline is such, Shankaracharya says, that your path of pursuit will be very easy if you follow these disciplines. It is called sadhana chatushtayam. This sadhana chatushtaya, if that is there, if you follow those disciplines, then Atmanishtha becomes very easy. What is Atmanishtha? Now what Nishtha means? Focus. Wholesome focus. Now what is our wholesome focus? Mostly the world and worldly activities, the family, children, wealth, property, how to preserve them and how to multiply them. That is our focus. Now, Atmanishtha is having a wholesome focus, that is the goal of life, that I want to realize myself. Having to do everything that I have to, because God has given me this work, can I find out time so that I can focus my life and my mind on this realization and what I should do. So it says that fourfold discipline is there. Now, fourfold discipline is, one is Viveka. It is called Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. There's Nitya Vastu Viveka, that is, you have to discriminate between what is permanent and what is transitory. Constantly in the mind. One is you have kept the goal, that I have to realize the self. Then, this is also very important. One is constantly discriminate what is permanent and what is transitory. Always. Say, you have some very good books to read and you want to read it. Books means, say Bhagavad Gita you want to read. You have made a routine that morning, this time to this time, I will read Bhagavad Gita. You are reading. But then there is some other attraction. Somebody says that let us go shopping. So mind will think that tomorrow I will read Bhagavad Gita. Today let me go. And what will you do? Whatever you have, you do not need actually, things you will buy and bring. So there, in such cases, I am giving a simple example, but you have to apply it to yourself. What is that? That nitya anitya. If I read this Bhagavad Gita, by doing this austerity, by trying to know, I am becoming powerful in my mind. Should I do this or should I do that? That viveka, that discrimination, that what will do good for you, wholesomely good for you, and what is not, the between that, the discrimination should always be there. Even in while eating food, the rajasic food is there and a sattvic food is there. You should understand what food you should take. That discrimination should be there. So the discrimination is called nitya anitya vastu vivekaha. Then is vairagya. If you have viveka, vairagya follows. What is vairagya? Dispassion. Dispassion doesn't mean that you have to leave everything and go. Dispassion means not to have possessiveness and clinging. So when you have viveka, you are understanding that many of the things that we do, we can simply stop it. It is not doing further good to me. So I can be dispassionate to certain things. We keep on doing things because of habit. And because of habit, when we do, we are not further improving. That complacency comes. That it is okay. This much is okay. So vairagya is dispassion for, and in the Shastras it is written, dispassion for all kinds of enjoyment. Everything. We need not be, because all of you are householders, we cannot give that, such strict rules. But you will find that dispassion for many of the things will simply come. You may be finding it. Many of you maybe have come and told that earlier you were wanting to go out, take food. All those have stopped. Why? Because you have found a new interest. Maybe spending time with yourself, reading something, coming for the satsangs, listening to good things. How will you find that time unless you leave something which the time which you were wasting? I have told this many times here, that when Swamiji asked me to read Bhagavatam, I was reading at that time in the morning, and while reading, I used to, early morning I would read, and then I would go for cooking. So my next door neighbor lady, she started coming to my house. And in the beginning, early morning, her husband will go to his office, and she will come to my house and start chit-chatting. So first day it went like that. I thought, oh, my Bhagavatam reading has gone. Second day again she came. She would come holding the hand of the little child and sit there. So I will give her seat, welcome, give a cup of tea, some snacks, and talk. But day after day it was happening. So then I thought that, oh, my Bhagavata reading is getting affected so much. So what can I do without hurting her? I cannot hurt her. I cannot say that don't come. So then I thought I'll cook first and then I will read. So I started cooking first. When she came, still I made her sit, made tea and gave. But I was cooking. So the pressure cooker whistle will go, so I will run to the kitchen. Or to stir something, I said, please wait, I'll just come. So 2-3 days went like this, and she found that I am not giving my full mind to her. And I'm again, in between, I'm going to the kitchen. So she lost interest. On the 4th day, she did not come to my house. She went past my house and entered another neighbor's house. I was relieved. But I thought, I was young at that time, maybe just 35 or so. I thought that this is how we can find time. Maybe few years earlier, I would have simply given into that. When somebody would come, chat, and take tea, maybe a second cup of tea, and waste the time. But since at that time I had developed an interest, I had understood that no, I have to somehow know what this is. I will tell you, I did not know much of spirituality at that time. Though I was initiated, I did not know what is self-realization. For like all of you, I would say I did not get an opportunity to have a satsang, to have satsang discussions, nothing like that. But this was there, that I have known that there is a state where you can have eternal happiness. And that is what I looked for. In the beginning years, I only looked for that eternal happiness I want. What is that? I don't know. How will I go there? I do not know. But I have come under the feet of a master who can show me the way. So what he says, I will do. So Swamiji had told me, you read Bhagavatam. So I started reading Bhagavatam. Did not know Sanskrit, big sentences, so many words joined together. So I brought up dictionary, I bought the book and started reading. So that Bhagavata reading, in which I put my heart and soul at that time, thinking that my Guru has told me, so I have to do it. That was getting affected. So I thought that no, something should be done. Because I kept a goal in life at that time. And that goal was not really self-realization. That goal was at that time to attain happiness, eternal happiness. Later only I understood that how knowing the self you can reach there. It is nothing but knowing the self. Nothing but removing the ignorance and knowing that yes, I have this potential. I am the self, I am eternal, I am immortal, I am imperishable. How to reach there I did not know. So I am telling you, you are all from household. I know there is so much of difficulty in the household. So many distractions are there. And mind will be constantly dragged to those distractions. So what will you do? That is why it is said satsang. And come to satsang, discuss. Actually, we are very happy. All that happens here. In all our centers we tell, this Malaysian group is a very vibrant group. But then, very recently I started thinking that is the satsang and discussion more important for them or chit-chatting after that? I felt that was the latter one was the more important one. But no, even that is good. So, next comes Viveka, Vairagya, fourfold pursuit I said. Viveka, Vairagya, then comes Shama, Damadi, Shatka, Sampattihi. You know, on these I can talk for a few days, but I am just going through. I just want to give you what is there in this Vivekachudamani. How a Shishya grows and realizes, so that at least that much can be known. So Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadamadi, Shatka, Sampatti. Shatka means 6. Sampatti means treasure or your possession. So Shama, Dama, Adi. Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, Samadhana. These are the ones. I will explain. What is Shama? Shama is restraining the mind. Restraining the mind. That is the mind, just like, say, that lady came, the mind is wanting to talk, but you still feel that this is not right. I must do something so that I am pursuing a good path. It should not be disturbed by like this. So you are restraining the mind. Mind may want to talk, chit-chat and waste the time. But you are giving a restraint to the mind and bringing it back to the path. You understand? So, whatever you do in your thought, words and action, you must see whether you are restraining yourself or you are simply giving way to all kind of distractions and disturbances and not focused. So, Shama is that. Dhamma is restraining the senses. All the senses you have to restrain. Like the eyes will like to see, some scenes which will make your mind excited. Food, very rajasic food, we like to taste, that makes the body and mind excited. So like that, all the senses which goes out and becomes excited, all that should be restrained. Shama, Dhamma, Titiksha. Titiksha is forbearance. It is a very, very good quality. What is Titiksha? That is, here I have to say the 24th shloka. This shloka also should become your friend. The forbearance is necessary for everybody. Why? The mind becomes agitated by others' behavior and talk. Simple things will make you absolutely upset. So, this is what can become your friend. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam Chinta vilaparahitam Satitiksha nigadyate Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam Chinta vilaparahitam Satitiksha nigadyate. Sahanam is endurance or forbearance. Sarva dukkhanam, of all the sorrows. Sorrows will come. What can we do? We have to be, if we keep on lamenting and crying, nothing is gained. So, to endure, to forbear all the adversity that we face, that is called titiksha. And not just enduring. Chinta vilaparahitam. Do not have any kind of blamefulness or lamentation. Apratikara purvakam. Now you feel like taking revenge, you feel like scolding. Somebody has told you something, you became disturbed. You feel very hurt, very angry, and you want to retort. By that, what is gained? Only the mind remains agitated as long as we are thinking like this. So titiksha is a very good quality. It's not that you will simply take everything lying down. It's not that. Wherever you can bring about a change, you can do that. But do not have hatefulness and dislike for the person who has hurt you. So, this is another quality. So, titiksha, uparati. Out of the 6 qualities, shama is the restraint of the mind, dhamma is the restraint of senses, then titiksha is forbearance, uparati. Uparati is the mind always goes out, bring it back to good thoughts. And that is where those who have taken initiation, for them, it is better to bring the thought back to the mantra that Guru has given. Or if you do not have a mantra, maybe you have not taken initiation, you can have a noble thought that I am fearless, I have clarity, I am so confident. You can think of that. That is, when the mind goes out and gets scattered, you bring it back onto this. Uparati, titiksha, uparati, shraddha. Shraddha is having faith. Faith in Guru Vakya and Shastra Vakya. Whatever the scriptures are saying, having strong faith in that. And whatever Guru is saying, having strong faith in that. Guru will talk only on Shastras. He will not deviate from the Shastras and say anything. So, Guru Vakya and Shastra Vakya, one must have the complete faith and that is called Shraddha. Then we will go to who is a Guru. And last, sorry, I forgot. So we have got Viveka, Vairagya, the 6 qualities. In this 6 quality, after Shraddha is Samadhana, that is, you think of the self and whatever you have heard regarding the self, contemplate on that. That is Samadhi. You try to have Samadhi or meditate on that. And so Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadamadi, Shatka Sampatti, that are 6 qualities. And last is Mumuksha, yearning for liberation. These 4 you must cultivate constantly. Constantly you must cultivate. Cultivate means what? You have to constantly see that whether you are having these qualities or not, having this quality or not. Are you getting distracted? Do you find that the outward things are attracting you more than, say, meditation, say, worship, to read, all that? So, where we started, Shankaracharya is saying 3 things are very rare, and those 3 things come in life when there is grace of God. However much you are scholars, you are a scholar, you do worship, you do lot of homam and all that, or do noble acts, unless you understand that who you are, you will not be able to have liberation. And what is this? Also you should know adhyatmika bodhena. That is not only knowing one's own self, understanding that the self in everybody is the same, and that is the universal self. This world is unreal, Brahman alone is real, and whatever I am, that self is everywhere. This is called one without a second. This is what we have to understand. Again the question will come, why do we have to understand? So there comes again the first discipline. What? Knowing the goal. Knowing this, knowing oneself, we will be able to reach that state of eternal happiness, which all of us want. Do we want to be constantly shuttling between happiness and unhappiness? No. Do you want to be fearful, shuttling between fearlessness and fearfulness? No. We always want to be happy. So, when these things become dry, you are not able to understand. You are thinking, oh my goodness, what are all these I am not understanding how to do. It's better to light a lamp and sit and chant some prayers. But by that nothing is happening. So you have to understand the goal of life is not that. Devotion means not to ask for anything. If I want to be a good devotee also, I have to know who this God is. What is His quality? What are my qualities? Can I be godly? All these things have to be known. Unless we do that, we'll be constantly shuttling between fearfulness and fearlessness. We'll be always happy and unhappy, always suffering and miserable. So if we want to become like this, the goal has to be remembered. Don't forget that goal at all. So knowing that one who feels I should progress a little bit, he comes to a Guru. And who is a Guru? The Guru's characteristics, now we will see. Who is a Guru? You know, in Mundaka Upanishad it says, man does lot of work, and ultimately doing all kinds of work, he understands that by doing work, maybe he has studied, he has got a very good job, he has acquired lot of wealth, he is very comfortable and luxurious, may not be luxurious, at least comfortable, has given lot of comfort and security to the family, children, kept few houses and things for the children also. He is known everywhere, world famous, but doing all that act, he does not get happiness and peace. He is not peaceful. Then tad vijnanartham sa gurumeva abhigacche. Then he starts thinking, is there anything knowing which I will become peaceful? I have thought that if I get this, I'll be peaceful and happy. If I get that, I'll be peaceful and happy. But all these things ultimately is not giving me any happiness. I am always fearful. When I have so many things in life to enjoy, my fear is that suppose I get some disease, suppose the family members get some disease, will I be able to enjoy this? He feels that, oh, so much wealth I have acquired, suppose it is stolen by robbers and dacoits, what will happen? Or when somebody is youthful, beautiful, they feel that, oh, suppose I become old. When I become old, what will happen? Ultimately, when I die, what will happen? Either I die or the near and dear ones die. So for everything there is fear. So he feels that by doing everything, fear is not taken away from the life. Fear is always there, tension is always there, anxiety is always there. So he starts looking for somebody, and tad vijnanartham sa gurum eva abhigachet. So he looks for a guru, he finds a guru, he goes to him. And in those days, how people would go to a guru, they will carry firewood on their head, wood pieces. Because those wood pieces, those days gurus would be staying in the forests. And the main thing which they needed is firewood to do yajna and also for cooking. Samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. So when the guru would see that somebody is coming with a bundle of firewood, he knows that this is a seeker. He is coming to me. And what kind of guru? Shrotriyam brahmanishtam. He is a shrotriya. He is well versed in the shrutis, that is the scriptures, and he is brahmanishta. That is, his whole focus is on Brahman. He is also living in the world, but his focus is not in anything else. Whatever comes, he enjoys. If nothing comes, that also is okay. He simply is happy, always dwelling in the thought of Brahman and the self. And other people, worldly people, their nishtha is where? In all worldly objects. Gadgets, food, dress, house, property, children, grandchildren. Now that grandchildren, looking after grandchildren has become up. In our scriptures, when the children become a little settled, then one should take to Vanaprastha. And now I find that mostly all people, now they not only Vanaprastha, they become, I think, doubly household. They have to look after their children and their household also. And many of them, they say that we are not able to, because we have become old, we cannot run after the children. So, but there is so much of joy in looking after grandchildren that you cannot leave it also. There you have to become, you have to see what is nitya and anitya, whether you can take out some time there also, whether you are doing too much. Some parents, some mothers, they will be so much behind the children that they spoil the children. The children do not become independent in their thought or action. So this is where this Viveka is necessary. Viveka is very much necessary, that whatever I am doing, some are there who will be constantly, behind the household. Actually, you can take out some time from there. You need not be so much behind it. Similarly, men will be so much behind the work. If you find, just like I took out some time for my Bhagavata reading, you will find that you are also able to do. But the thing is that you are not thinking. You are not thinking. So, come to shloka number 33. Shrotriyo abrijino akamahato yo brahmavittamah brahmanyuparatah shanto nirindhana ivanalah ahetukadaya sindhuh bandhuranamatam satam shrotriyo avrijino akamahato yo brahmavittamah brahmanyuparatah shanto nirindhana ivanalah ahetukadaya sindhuh bandhuranamatam satam. Shrotriyaha means one who is well versed in the scriptures. Avrijinaha. Avrijinaha is sinless. Shrotriya well versed in the scriptures. Avrijinaha is sinless. Akamahataha, unstainted by desires or not smitten by any desire. You know, when we read this, any kind of quality, when you read, we must feel that I must have that quality. You know, it immediately, when these are noble qualities, it immediately purifies the mind. And one must have a feeling that, oh, I can also be like this. So, Shrotriyaha, Avrijinaha, Akamahataha, Yaha means one, whoever, Brahmavittamaha, knower of supreme truth. Brahmanyuparataha. Brahmani means in Brahman, Uparataha is withdrawn. Brahmani Uparataha means we saw the quality Uparati. What did I say? Uparati means from outside world you bring back the mind to Atma or Brahman. Whenever you find mind is getting distracted, bring it back to the thought of Atma or Brahman or God. If you want to think of God, it is, the God, self, Brahman, there is no difference. If you want to think about God, since I am reading this text, I am saying Brahman. But if you are happy to think of God, think of God. So, Brahmani Uparataha means his Guru's mind is always focused on God, like Brahman. Brahman Uparataha Shantaha. Shantaha means what? Peaceful, tranquil. Shantaha, with subdued senses. Shanta is when Shama is there, that is the mind is restrained, the mind becomes completely subdued. That is completely calm and quiet and tranquil. Nirindhana ivanalaha. Nirindhanaha means in the absence of fuel, Iva is like, Analaha is fire. Shantaha like the fire for which there is no fuel. I'll explain it. See, how does the fire burn? Because there is a fuel. Suppose there is a lamp, we put oil. As soon as the oil is over, it will become quiet. Unless we pour oil again before it goes off, it will go off. That is, it has become shanta, it has become quiet. Now, for such a person who has no desire, desire is the fuel of the mind. Why the mind is agitated and is not quiet? Because of desires. Constantly mind thinks, I want this, I want that, this should be done like this, that should be done like this. Constant thought. That is the fuel for the mind. The mind is not becoming quiet absolutely because of these thoughts. So this kind of a guru, his mind has become quiet because he is having no desire at all. As the life comes, he accepts it. He doesn't look for anything. So his mind is just like that fire for which the fuel is over, extinguished. And so these are his qualities. And the greatest quality, what does he have? Ahetuka daya sindhuhu bandhuranamatam satam. His ahetuka means what? See here, ahetuka is ocean of spontaneous compassion. No, it's wrong. It's not properly given. Adhyatmika means without any reason. You can add that. The main thing has got dropped. Daya Sindhu means ocean of spontaneous compassion. Adhyatmika means without any reason. He is a mercy, wave, ocean of mercy, but without any reason, without any motive. He becomes compassionate only because it is his nature. That is why when you come to a saintly person, you will find that you feel you are loved, you feel you are protected, you feel you become happy. What do you think also? You feel everybody feels that I am very special to him, I am loved by him. This feeling, how does it come? Because he has nothing. He doesn't want anything. He loves everybody equally. Adhyatmika daya sindhuhu bandhuhu anamatam satam. And those who come to him, he becomes his friend. Those who come to him, anamatam satam, those who come and touches his feet or just comes and sit near his feet, he becomes his friend. Friend means what? All of us have friends. Friend means what? We are always expecting things from our friends. What? At least good behavior. The day your friend does not behave properly with you, he will not be a friend at all. It is not like this for him. He has nothing to expect. He can only love. He can only give protection. So, whoever comes to him, he embraces him at least mentally and gives a feeling of love and becomes his friend. Even if you say some words which may hurt him, he will not feel anything. He will not make you distant. He will still have the feeling of welfare in his mind. Many people, after Swamiji's Mukti Sudhakaram, the TV channel is there, Asianet. So every day there is the telecast. Some write some such letters to him, which some of them which have been published in our Vichar Setu magazine. Like an arrow they have written, pointing arrows and such bad words. But he says that once one letter came and Swamiji said, I am going to reply. Swamiji always replies them. We said that what is the point in replying? This person will not understand anything. And Swamiji said, no, still I will reply. And he replied. So every such letter comes, Swamiji replies them. And sometimes in 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, trying to bring in some sense. Without any hatred, without any blame. Swamiji always says, don't blame anybody. If you have to say something, say. But first you own the person and then say. This is what we do not do. When we don't like somebody, we want to give such words which will hurt that person. We don't own. So that one has to own. Then only you become, equal to everything. Equal. You consider everybody equally. When we scold our children, we may be scolding them with sometimes harsh words also. But from the mind we do not hate them. We are not blameful. But with others, first we become blameful, first we become an enemy, then we start talking. So tomorrow we will see how this person who is a seeker, is a very beautiful portion of this Vivekachudamani, how the seeker who has looked for a guru goes to a guru, what does he say and what does Guru tell in reply? Very beautiful portion. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nityabodhaswarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sada nusmarami pranavmi थं विमुक्तं विकारादिहीनं प्रसन्नं सदा नित्यबोधस्वरूपं परं निश्चलं निर्गुणं सर्वरूपं भजेऽहं सदानुस्मरामि प्रणौमि.